Boy, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited about this one here on Sportswire Radio tonight because the weekend is just getting started. Because not only do I have one champion tonight, I've got two champions from the same company, and they're both connected in a way through a phone call. Well, maybe or maybe not, they're connected through a phone call. But we are now on that road to Haunted Hellfest, which is now less than 3 weeks away. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about when it comes to Haunted Hellfest, and especially when it comes to our guest, who's the reigning, defending LBYW World Heavyweight Champion. And he's going to be defending that championship against an alpha. And could this be his kryptonite? Well, I'll talk about that. Plus, I'll also talk about what happened with him in his last match against El Sombrero and what on earth is going on with PBS. Plus, who knows whatever else. And not only that, I'm going to have an announcement related to LBYW. I'm going to have an announcement for next month with LBYW. And we're going to definitely get you on that road to Haunted Hellfest. Plus, I'm going to bring on the other champion in, let's say 45 minutes to an hour from now, who you might want to say is a face of America and is also, who I don't know, maybe a leader of a group. And I promise him I won't bring up Atlanta sports. I promise him I won't bring up the New York teams, but I'll definitely talk about that road to Haunted Hellfest. But it's now time, since we are, after all, in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest platform where all wrestling matters. And now that we've gotten past our road to 1,000 subscribers, 1,100 subscribers, 1,200, and 1,250 subscribers, we have to give our champion that introduction that he's so used to. But for the first time officially in prime time, even though he's been here on multiple occasions, now he's getting that championship-like introduction in prime time where he belongs. Because after all, he ain't just an Oklahoma bomber. He's an American badass who also just celebrated a birthday one day before yours truly. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our guest that championship introduction and get this show on the road on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report. Number one, Sports Show. The reigning, defending LBYW World Heavyweight Champion. His name is, simply put, the American badass boom. The champ is here. Champ, how are we doing?
I'm doing hella good. How about you, sir?
Ask me when I'm off the air and how my voice feels. But until then, great to be back with you. And it's obviously good to be with you, especially now that we're on that road just days away till Haunted Hellfest. And how does it feel to be back on Sportswire and celebrate a birthday? Because last weekend it was your birthday. So first of all, everybody here right now in the chat, wish our friend Mr. Napalm a belated happy birthday.
Well, thank you guys so much. And also, it feels right. It feels good to be back here, especially with gold right next to me, and that's been
I
around
know,
my
because when you were
waist.
here before, you'd won the title for a few minutes, and then you were trying to get it back, and you had your problems and such. But you are on top. I'll definitely get into it. But I got to ask you the question to kind of basically lighten the mood a little bit. So, what'd you do for your birthday last weekend?
Oh, what did I do for my birthday? Sat on the couch and watched the Browns lose it for me. That's exactly
Well,
what
you're
I.
gonna have a long year with the Browns. It looks like
I
you're gonna
know,
have a
I
very.
know.
You're gonna probably be a 4-13, 5-12 football team this year. That's what you look
That
like. Sadly.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it.
Oh, okay. If you thought it was beautiful, I mean, all right, fair enough. I definitely won't ask you about the football season, but let's talk about going into the road to Haunted Hellfest. You've got an opponent that's obviously defeated a man that is a big deal in BYW. We'll talk about that, but let's start kind of nice and easy here before we get into your most recent match. So, for those that are listening and watching here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, Sportswire Radio. Napalm, what does it feel now, once again, to be back on Sportswire Radio as the reigning, defending LBYW heavyweight champion?
It feels good, and it makes me happy that I'm here as the LBYW world champion, because the thing is, the last time that we were on here before, I gave you my word
You did.
that the next time that
It
I
was
was going to
about
be
two and
here,
a half months ago, I think. It was the last
yep,
time you about 2.5 months ago, something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, and I told you that next time that you'll see me was guaranteed with this title with me, and by God, I got the job done. I kept my word, and I am here now with you and everybody else with my hard earned
You
blood,
grinded
sweat, and
for that
tears.
championship, by the way,
Blood,
which
sweat, and tears. Yeah.
you grinded for that for sure. I mean, was there ever any moment you said, you know what, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this out considering the lay of the land in LBYW before you won the championship? I know you were here right before it and such, but is there ever any moments that you kind of had some doubts?
I did not. I knew that there was always going to be obstacles. There was always obstacles from day one, especially trying to reach to the top. And that's one thing I've always said is that anybody that stands in my way, friend or foe, I'm going to be taking them out. And that's exactly what I did. And when I end up losing the championship, of course, I had to worry about PBS and get through that obstacle. And then somehow fighting my way back to the rightfully earned title match that I deserve. And it, by God, when it came time, when I finally reached to that mountain, and the only person that stood in my way was White Viper, beat the hell out of him. Legitimately, I took every frustration, anger, you name it, what could possibly go on inside of a man's head. I took it all out on him, and it felt good at the end when
Well, you had
finally.
that pented up frustration for a couple of months to win the title and then get cashed in on. So you had that as basically kind of a motivation that you went through that, and now you've got to be able to take all that out against him.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I don't regret it one bit. And I thank the Lord every day that he's just now gone. And the only thing I set my sights for now is to keep this title and keep it with me for me, but not only for me, but for the fans of Napalm.
But it's also got to be important to keep that championship because we've talked about this for the past several months on the Sportswire. This is the final full season of
Oh yeah.
LBYW. So, I mean, you guys are going to be around, but it's not going to be what we see every single other week or every month. We get these big shows. You guys are only going to be here sporadically. So this is the final full season. So that's got to also really motivates you to kind of pull this out here at Haunted Hellfest, which I'll get to in a little while, to be able to stay on top as champion because this is pretty much it. This is the final full season.
Oh yes. This is our final full season. And the thing is, if I can end this season still on top, which I will still be on top, then with LBYW history, the last known world champion that you'll ever know will be Napalm. And and that's what makes me work and train harder. to where I need to be at to keep that momentum going, to keep the animal instinct, to keep the badassness keep rolling all throughout.
For sure. And I do want to point out, if you are here right now, please hit the sub button for our friends at LBYW. They're almost at 1,600 subscribers. So if you're out here for the first time, we're going to play some footage. Please support our friends in LBYW. You can check them out on YouTube at ND_backyard_wrestling. This is their YouTube page. Please go out there and support them. Hit the sub button for them. They've been friends of us here on Sportswire Radio for over a year and a half, and I want to support those that have been with us when Sportswire Radio didn't have all the fancy number of subscribers and the fancy number of viewer counts. So support those that support us, especially when LBYW was one of those companies coming onto Sportswire when I had about 175, 180, 190 subscribers. So please support those that support us. I want to ask you something, and we'll come back to this in a minute, but you said something really interesting for the audience, is that you would want to be known as the last world champion for the final full season of LBYW. Not many people in our circuit can say something like that. In a way, it's kind of it's a sad, but it's a neat fact at the same time. What would that mean to you to be the final LBYW champion in a full season? What would that mean to you?
It it would be it means like my swan song for LBYW. You
Mm-hmm.
know, for from when I started with these guys to the end of it, it's my swan song. It's the glory and it's the end of the chapter. The book is what it needs to be. Like that's what it means. The end of Napalm's LBYW chapter closed with a hell of a finish.
You said the swan song. Now, I know it's obviously a while before whatever happens after the season, and I don't know if I should speculate, but I'll speculate. Is this the swan song coming up of your BYW career?
No,
Okay.
no, no. Napalm will always be around.
Okay.
Napalm's
I was like,
always gonna be
oh boy,
around, baby.
the way he said that, I have to ask the $1,000,000 question there. Is that the swan song
No,
of your BYW career? Okay.
no, no. My BYW career, it's a hell of a career, and it's with the people and the way things move around when it's time for a match, and the adrenaline rush that I get. I love this shit. I love it. I'm addicted to it. It's a drug that I cannot get rid of, and I will never get rid of. It's just sad to see from where I started, which was LBYW. It's sad to see it come to a close. But the way I want it to come to a close is still me at the top of the food chain. From when I started, that's where I wanted to be, the top, the tippy top. So if I could still stay there, by God, my
And
brain.
that would mean, but that would mean a lot also to you, because you would be, again, the champion in the final full season of LBYW. And yes, I see the thumbs up, but the point is that that's a big deal, because again, I don't know what next year looks like in LBYW. Nobody knows. It's obviously it's a bridge that nobody can cross yet, because we have to get through this.
Right.
But the landscape is completely unknown in LBYW going forward.
Yeah. None of us know what's going to happen. None of us.
Does that make you nervous? Does that make you kind of, you ever remember when you get stomach knots in your stomach sometimes, kind of like that feeling, whether it's like a stomach ache? You ever you're a little nervous about what the future looks like and such?
No.
No.
I roll with the motion of life.
Okay.
Whatever, it's just I take on whatever life gives me, whatever it throws in my way, no matter what obstacle it may be. Because regardless, I still have that mindset as a soldier. I can't let anything stop me. I keep pushing forward harder and stronger every day. And if the obstacle comes my way, you just break the obstacle, get over it, and go.
What do you think the mood is like in the locker room right now?
Everybody knows. No
Right.
one talks it. No one talks about it.
Why not?
No one. I mean, it's because I think it's because it's a lot emotional, and And the thing is, before a match, why you can't afford to be emotional. Maybe this is going to be my last match or the next two, or what. You can't think about that before you go into a match. So back in the locker room, no one really says anything.
But
We
you
just
guys have to be thinking about it because again, this is I mean, we've got one more big show left. We have obviously the parking lot brawl, another one coming up. I mean, you were in one of those, and then we have Haunted Hellfest, and then that's probably it for the season. I mean, who knows? You can never say never, but it has to be a topic on the minds of the locker room.
Oh, of course, I bet it is. But see, here's the thing: is that one thing about me, Tom? I don't have tag partners. I don't have people that it's like I'm standing right next to.
But people are talking. I mean, the roster has to be talking about it. I
Of
mean,
course, but I stay in my own lane.
okay.
I think what I'm worried about right now is keeping my mindset on Haunted Hellfest. I have an opponent that I'm about to face for the fourth time.
Technically not.
This new version, regardless, it's the same man just with
Well,
a
because
mask and a cape. You know, you know, and with a different theme song instead of the forbidden theme song that I was using. Thank God.
well,
But
yeah. Go ahead.
but
I'm listening.
but that's who I'm worried about right now. After that's over and the Swan song is playing along with Kid Rock, the American Badass theme song, just saying. Um, then I'll think about it. Then it'll be on my mind.
Okay. All
Then
right. Well,
then it's time to think about it. What do we
well,
do from
I
here?
understand because you're the champion. You're not just a regular guy in the locker room. You got the world championship. It's a major responsibility. I completely understand that. Okay, I tell you what, we're gonna play your last match on the screen that you just had against El Sombrero. We're gonna definitely talk about that. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. Your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. I'm gonna put this up on the screen. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go back up into here. And I'm going to take this onto the screen. I'm going to go like this right here. Yes, the magic of technology. So we're going to go
It's
right into
beautiful.
it. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and it's obviously we're seeing here. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Thank you for putting my logo up. I appreciate that very much.
Of
But
course.
yes, we and by the way, I actually for the first time have Nexus merchandise. By the way, I make sure I have
Yeah,
my Nexus and Sportswire logo merchandise on there.
yeah. It's
But
it's amazing. I love it.
what's it like face? Yeah, thank you for that. But what's it like facing somebody who's having their first match against you for a world heavyweight championship? What is that like?
Well, see, earlier in the day, I did put out an open challenge because I want to get some momentum and training in before I go and face the alpha. Now, was it a dumb decision? It could have been. It could have been, but the thing is, I just wanted some practice, and no one's just going to wrestle somebody without something on the line, especially if you're the world champion. So why not make it for my
But
championship?
some would say, why not just go and focus and count all your chickens until, let's say, Haunted Hellfest?
I see. No, see, here's the thing: is when military personnel, before you go to war, you get trained for war. You do all these field exercises and gun training and medical and stuff like that. It's like we you do war before you actually go into war. So I'm going to face somebody before I go to war, my actual war. And yeah, it's this guy's debut. So here's the thing: he could make a name for himself in LBYW if he pins me at 1, 2, 3. I'm
But
giving
going
him
up
something
against
here for
somebody
us.
but you also don't have a scouting report on El Sombre. You don't have any scouting report, nothing on him.
Well, there was nothing to be able to find since he's from the streets of Mexico. So,
But doesn't
it's
that
kind
make
of
it even more bizarre to kind of do an open challenge? Not like you got somebody in the locker room, you got somebody that you don't even know anything about, nothing, and nobody in BYW knows anything about.
all I know is I'm rolling with the motion of the ocean.
Well, you did that, but still, nevertheless, it's a interesting gamble that you made. You still made quite a gamble. I'll say
Of
that much.
course. Of course, when I put out the open challenge, I didn't think we were just going to pick somebody off the side of the road and have them face me. No, I thought maybe
What were you thinking?
especially
Scary Terry, who obviously that would
well,
be a layup for
well,
you, right?
see, I was expecting somebody from PBS, actually, honest to God, for how much trash they talked about me, like
Well, I mean,
Showtime or something.
would you have wanted Showtime?
Oh, I would have loved to have Showtime,
You didn't get him though.
sadly, but he has his own problems and his own
He's got a
type of.
psychotic freak. I mean, obviously it was all here on Sportswire. Him and the injury. I still don't
Oh
know
yeah.
what's going to happen there. Maybe I'll ask Wilster about that when he comes on here in about 25 minutes or so. I will say hello to everybody in the chat after the match. But we see here a nice little drop kick there from
Huh?
El Sombrero.
Oh yeah, he's done. When he dodged all my moves, it pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie, it upset me so
Yeah,
much because I was not expecting that. And
got some nice
then,
little offense in there. Maybe some Mexican type lucha libre offense there.
oh yeah, oh, like this dude doesn't back down. He just
I
keeps
could
getting up
see.
and fighting, which doesn't surprise me. I'm gonna keep my comments myself. But you know, one thing it does to me though is just pisses me off more and more.
And you
And
gave a Superman punch that knocked
oh
him down
yeah,
temporarily.
yeah, and then just ground and pound, baby, ground and pound.
Yeah,
Stop that
those punches.
momentum. Make
Well,
make them feel it. You
oh,
know,
you
make
definitely
them.
did that. Yeah, I mean, I could certainly see that for sure. And again, you've got him in a way where you want him so far. We're going to see you now take the offense here, and you have some, it looks like some suplexes there. You would three amigos there, but didn't work out. But you are kind of going in and laying offense on him and El Sombrero, who we've seen here for the first time in BYW. We're watching LBYW's throwdown episode involving the LBYW World Champion Napalm in his second defense of the championship. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all wrestling matters. If you're on Sportswire Radio, I thank you so much for tuning in. I also want to let people know next Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll have the 1,000 subscribers celebration of Sportswire Radio. We'll also induct a woman, Angela Pink, into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Angela actually got Sportswire Radio 200 subscribers in one day from my home communities out there in Brighton Beach, Sheepshead Bay, Manhattan Beach, and Brooklyn. And definitely, I do want to say hello to Silas Walker. Silas, I'm sorry about the match you had at World War. I watched it right before I went on, and I really thought you were going to beat Big Tex, but thank you for tuning in. I was watching most of the show before I went on here on Sportswire Radio, and I was really enjoying the show. And that strap match between Scorpion and Silas was definitely Cyrus was definitely one that I was counting how many times they hit each other. But we'll move on from that in a little while. I know I'll have those guys on tomorrow with Brandon Castelli, but talk to me about why a rookie would kind of be talking to the referee there at El Sombrero.
Well, because he's upset about the count. He thought he got tres, but he only got dos.
Ah,
So
I see. I see.
so that's the thing with me. You want to be distracted to talking to the ref and arguing about the count and all that stuff. That's where I take advantage most of the time. Yeah.
And yes, Silas, I did. I saw where Big Tex won, and then I had to go on to stream my StreamYard link. Sadly, so don't spoil it for me. I'm gonna watch that when we're off the air in a little while. But that's how it goes. What can you say? But obviously, you're about to put in some offense, and you're trying to get him up there.
Oh
But
yeah.
that was a nice little kind of what was that a neck almost like a neck choke slam reversed, right? Something like that.
I don't know. I just know it hurt.
Well, you
I,
and me
I I
both.
I don't know what I would call that, but I just know the entire time that I've had this offense, I've been trying to figure out what it's going to take for this guy to bring it down. From
Do you have any regrets about having an open challenge where somebody like this provides this much offense?
no, no,
No,
all
why
it
not?
does it just gets me more a little bit more cardio in and expect more, especially facing a guy like
So you looked at it like
Joseph.
taking an open challenge before you had a huge world title match coming up was actually a good thing for you. Is that what you're
Oh
telling me right
yeah,
now?
yeah, it's training. For me, this is training. This is me figuring out how to get above
And
my
there's your fear,
opponent
by
when
the
I'm
way.
down. Yes,
There's your
sir.
spear. Yeah. Everybody in BYW this year does a spear. I'm sure Silas could attest to it, but
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
in Comatose is here. He's got the spear. You've got the spear. Silas, I think Big Tex does a spear from time to time. Everybody does a spear in BYW this year, or Underground. I'm not quite sure what's
You-
the appeal to it, but I don't know. Who knows?
See,
Each to its own.
the spear used to be my own my permanent finisher. You know,
Hmm.
it was my end of game because I have a lot of momentum and I am running at you hard, and especially in a flat jacket. And
Do
still,
you guys in the military spear each other?
no, no,
Why
no.
not?
Well, I'm not trying to kill my battle buddy, as we
Okay.
would call it, you know.
Okay.
So that's why I switched up to my finisher that I use
Mm,
now.
gotcha.
Not
Got
non-controversial finisher, but the Oklahoma City
bomber.
Bomber.
Yeah.
Yeah, non-controversial. I didn't come up with it, the name
Well,
of
you
it. I
got the
just did
victory
it.
there, and I actually do remember hearing about the Oklahoma City bombings. That was in 1995. I actually remember. I was a very little, and I remember that it was the Oklahoma City bombings. It was a major
Yep.
deal,
Oh
and
yeah.
but the good news is that we didn't have any one of those attacks since in Oklahoma City. But you did attack El Sombrero, and you kind of tapped him on the face there. But you got a victory, and a big victory going into a match coming up at Haunted Hellfest. Big victory.
A big victory, a lot of momentum, and a lot of prep is what's coming out of this. Is that if for some reason the alpha was doing all these jumping moves and was able to roll under my freaking clotheslines and roll away out of my spear, I'm prepared,
Hmm.
you know. But that's one thing that I've said a little bit. Yeah, I'm facing the alpha for the fourth time. Yeah, he's changed his name and changed up his looks, but it's still to me the same guy that I took a beat down on three
Why do you
separate
say
times.
that though? I mean, I don't think they're the same person at all. They're totally different.
One's a little darker souled.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only difference.
Mm.
It's still the same. When I sat back and watch his matches to get prepared and go back and watch them and watch the footage,
Mm-hmm.
he I just see the same guy
You do.
doing the same stuff.
But he's not the
Nothing
same guy though. He's not.
to me he is. To me he is. Like
Yeah.
you might change your name and change the way you look and change your theme song but regardless, you're still the same person. He,
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's to be the case, but you're gonna find out at Haunted Hellfest. I mean, that's been the Alpha is gonna be your biggest opponent. Let's
oh
just put
yeah.
it that way.
See, when I looked into his eyes, I still saw the
Mm-hmm.
same guy.
Mm-hmm.
The same fears, the same story, the same background. And for some reason, I still got to go and face him in the ring again.
And how does that make you feel?
Pisses me off.
Pisses you off.
It pisses me off
You tapped him out.
because, but
You
what?
could say
What's
you're the reason why he isn't that person anymore.
yeah?
Period.
See,
For that
see,
reason.
the first match, I beat him clean, fair and square. Then the second one, we had a couple of other people in there, but still, he took the pin. He still got pinned. It was still him. And then
Yeah.
he talked all that trash, talking bad about me. Even after I went back down to Oklahoma for a little bit, it told me I didn't have the cojones
You were
to
away
make
for
it
about
back.
2 months, I think, after that, right? Two and a half
I
months.
was gone. I was gone for 5 months.
Well,
5 months.
season wise, you were gone for 2.5 because you guys had a break. On top of that, it was an extra 2 months. But
Well, I was already traveling back down there. I was moving stuff back and forth. It's plus
right,
also when I came back up here to do shows and stuff like that.
right.
But
There was a
and all
delay in time,
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. On all technicality, I do believe I was there for those matches when they were starting. And the third one happened at Backyard Wrestling Nexus Resolution,
Yep.
which
I remember that. Yep.
we beat the hell out of each other. But I even one up on him. He's never tapped before until me.
a big deal on somebody's resume to have an opponent that they've had wars with to tap out, right? It's a big
No, yeah.
deal.
And he went away for a little bit to find himself and came back as the alpha.
And he's
And
been running through the roster. We saw how about the cinematic matches he's been involved in, and I mean, look at what he even did to a guy, Kurt Adams. Kurt Adams, a BYW legend.
oh
He
yeah,
beat Kurt,
see,
he
see,
beat Kurt
see,
Adams. That's a pretty
he,
big deal. I mean, listen, if he beat
oh
Kurt
yeah,
Adams, you're definitely vulnerable.
oh yeah. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't just one on one though.
No, but he's still got,
But
but he's got
I
a
know,
victory over him though. He
I
has
know,
a victory.
I know. I'm gonna put it in the words as the alpha would say. It wasn't a fair fight.
It wasn't a fair fight.
There was more people involved. That's what he said about my second match. That one didn't count because it wasn't a one-on-one. That's what I'm gonna put out there. I'm pretty sure Kurt Adams would have had his number if they both came out not even fighting anybody. I
Would
believe
you have?
Kurt Adams would have won.
But I'm sure you would rather. Maybe I'll even throw it out there. Would you have wanted to have faced Kurt Adams instead?
Oh, of course. That's somebody I haven't wrestled but has a huge name.
Absolutely. I mean, he has wrestled some of the biggest names in BYW. This is
Oh
a
yeah.
guy. He's a traveler. This is a guy that his resume speaks for itself. To have Kurt Adams in your roster and then to actually have an opportunity to have faced him, you had to have wanted that.
I did. I didn't know that he was coming up. I did not even know he was there.
Nobody knew. Well, nobody knew that. There was no news
And
about that anywhere.
and so when I caught wind that he was there and he was going to be in the match, I was hoping and praying that he would have won. Because I don't want to go and do the same storybook ending with the same guy I've beat over, and I want a challenge. I want someone new, someone fresh, someone that has a huge name. As our final season at Haunted Hellfest for the main event for the World Championship.
What have you learned from being in a locker room with Kurt Adams?
What I learned, he's a hell of a wrestler. He's hell,
Wow.
and he's good, and he does not back down, even with him hurting knees, whatever. Especially having someone just targeting him, Nate Dogg, for example, and he still doesn't back down. He was close to beating the Alpha, but let me tell you, after the dust settled and the stuff was done for, I went back there and I shook his hand. And I
But
told
there's
him that
got
I
to have
wish it
been
was
a
me and
what
him.
if that you would have liked to have faced Kurt Adams
Oh
rather than.
yeah, and that's why I said I wished it was him, and I hate that it's not.
But you've got the history with a man that used to be a man you've made tap out,
All I'm
right?
going to say is about that
Yeah, go ahead.
is that Haunted Hellfest is coming,
It is.
and I'm ready. I'm more ready than I was when I faced White Viper.
Is this the biggest match of your career coming up?
Yep,
And why?
this is it's the biggest match because it's the final. It's like what we talked about earlier. This is the final. We don't know what happens after this,
No, we don't.
and yeah, I'm at the tippy top of the mountain, but that's my territory. I want to stay right there.
It's not going to be easy to do that.
When there's nowhere that's been on this road that it's never been that it's
That's
been
true
easy.
too. Trust me, I to get it to 1,000 subscribers. I mean, I have been on Sportswire for 5 consecutive months, and yes, by the grace of God, we had Angela get us to 200 subscribers in the one day. But the grind was real. I understand,
Oh,
certainly, no question about it. But But
Which, by the way,
again,
that's a true American badass right there.
oh my goodness, this woman, let me tell you something. I think in Russia now people know who I am, apparently. In Russia. I'm going on Russian radio next month. The legendary Russian radio. That's right. The Russian radio AM 6. That's a different conversation for a
Oh
different
yeah.
time. We'll talk about that next month when LBYW, the gang is all here. But the Alpha is going to be motivated. The Alpha is going to now look at you and the targets on your back coming up here in less than 3 weeks.
And I got a target on his face.
Well, he's got a mask on, though.
Oh no.
You got a mask on, so
I got a flat jacket. I'm good.
Well, you might be able to pull that off, potentially, but obviously, Mr. Adams is fighting on here, and we're here with Napalm. I'll run into some of the chat in about 15 minutes or so. We'll also be here with the Wilster. The Wilster is going to join us about 15 or 20 minutes, and I'll get to some comments while we're about to do that. And Kurt Adams, anything? Did he give you any advice at all? Anything going into the match with the Alpha? Did you ask him anything about that?
I did not, because I know he was hurting, and I wanted him to just heal up and be by himself. So when I went back there and I shook his hand, and I told him that I wish it was him, and I hate that it wasn't.
Okay.
That's all I could say, because now it's time to prepare for war. It's
It is
time to
going to be a
prepare
war.
for everything.
It's going to be a haunted hellfest, undoubtedly. Let me ask you, though, speaking of the Wilster, he's going to be on here in a little bit. But whatever happened with that phone call?
I'm not for sure what he was trying to do. I don't know
When
if it
you
was.
won the title, there was kind of this sort of, nothing ever came of it, but there was this kind of mutual, I won't be in your way, you won't be in mine kind of deal.
Yeah, which I was perfectly fine with. When I told him, I said, "We're like, it's over. Let it be. Let it be and settle in the grass and call it good." And he shook my hand and he told me yes, but then calls me at the next showing while I am cutting a promo and asks me wanting to give him a call sometime. Why? I'm
That's a
not
good
looking.
question.
I'm not looking to join PBS if that's what he wants. Have all the titles in his faction again? No.
No. Should I ask him that in a little while when he comes on here in about 10 or 15 minutes?
Sure, go for it. I don't.
But you don't know. You have
I don't
no.
know. I did not even bother calling him back.
But wouldn't have a thought have been maybe to call him, because what if you were going into what was about to happen with the Alpha? Maybe it would make sense to have a friends like PBS. No.
Well, we'll see. The thing is, when that phone call happened, that was way before I knew who I was facing at Haunted Hellfest. And
But you had
besides,
to know you always would have a target on your back.
well, that's normal when you're a champion.
That's true too.
When you're at the tippy top, there's going to be one people that wants to come up there and take you off the top, and put themselves on there. And the thing is, through my whole career with LBYW, I've never had anybody helping me with my fights.
Yep.
I've never had anybody fight my fights for me. I've always done mine on my own, one-on-one. Besides, where I gathered or helped gather everybody together to take down PBS at war.
But you haven't quite been able to take them down.
But they're a dying faction. They're not doing so hot.
They got the Face of America. They got Showtime. They got Nate Dogg.
Well, here's the thing: is who helped Will get the tag titles? It was me. It was when I was sick and tired of Viper's stuff. I handcuffed Viper to the ring, and I told him, "Beef's over. Take advantage. Finish him." And the thing is, though, Will then gives it to Scary Terry.
Scary Terry is like the later Barry Horowitz of BYW. Literally, he's just pretty much, he's an L. He's just a big L, just a big L there. Obviously.
Well, with that match right there, for an example, I faced two of their guys. I faced both Nate Dogg and Scary Terry.
Yeah.
that the champion, the tag champions, fighting for my belt, and I beat them single-handedly.
What was it like
Hopefully,
wrestling in a Walmart parking lot?
it was interesting. I just knew I had a lot of things to use,
Did you do any
and
shopping afterwards?
yeah, for beer, like, for beer.
Did anybody recognize you guys? Hey, I just saw you guys beating each other up.
No, but the semi truck over there. I guess we ended up waking up the couple that was in there,
Oh
and
God. Oh God.
I just know I walked up and I was like, "I'm sorry, I whooped their ass too loud. Is it good? Good?" And they gave me a thumbs up. I said, "Cool. See y'all later."
How far is that from the LBYW arena?
Oh, that's about 10 minutes. For the most
Oh,
part.
that's it. Wow. Okay, 10 minutes from you guys. You guys could walk to this place then, I guess.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
oh, of course. But
You
I'm
guys.
not willing to whoop people's asses all across the highway just to bring them to a Walmart parking lot, whoop their ass more, you know. But
Well, that's a good point there. That's a good point. You know, we're watching some of it here. Let me get to some of the chat here because I want to bring the Wilster on here in about 10 or 15 minutes. So I'll be watching this. Let's bring on a lot of people who want to talk to you. Let me get a chance to say hello to them. Zilla would like to say hello. D'Angelo the Flame, who was here earlier today because we had an event called It's Shocky's House, Shocky's Party. We had that here, and it was a slew of guys, including D'Angelo, all the way in Buffalo, New York, the other side of the state from where I live. Justin Parsley wants to say hello to Zilla. Zilla would like to say hello to her best friend, Justin Parsley. This is how we're really reading each other on Sportswire. Yes,
heck yeah.
D'Angelo is saying hello. Let's see who else. Yes, I am a little behind, Ashley. I am definitely behind. Yes, hello to Napalm. There we go. Justin Parsley is giving references. Zilla has no idea. He's talking about the old Tonight Show years ago. But we'll move on from that because Ashley says my intro gives a tinnitus warning. You might want to have put your earplugs on, maybe. And who has the best bandana in the business? Said 3 times over from a man that obviously will be here very soon, very very soon.
Well, thank you, Will. I appreciate it.
And Justin Parsley would like to say hello. Justin is, of course, the only 7-time Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer. And yes, that's the Tonight Show, Zilla. I answered it for you. Yes, and good evening to Justin Parsley. We're going to move on from that. What a damn introduction. Yes, thank you, said 3 times over. And yes, they were comedic partners to late night talk show host. Want to say hello to my buddy Il Drago from the IMF, who was very successful a few weeks ago. He'll be back here Thursday night. We're doing great. Il Drago had his coming out party on Sportswire Radio before Ring of Champions. And definitely, yes, the Browns are in it for a long year. That's for sure. Yes, happy birthday to Napalm. Happy late birthday. Happy birthday from D'Angelo. Happy
Thank
late
you all.
birthday to Napalm. 3 times. I don't know why they're posting 3 times, but we'll get to it. The face of America, thanks all of yours for your support. We're going to get to him very soon. Thank you for sending prayers to my cousin Jameson Joyce, who's unfortunately dealing with a major brain injury. He's only 10 years old, and I appreciate that.
Oh
And thank
wow.
you. Yes, I've actually never met him, but he's on my father's side of the family. My father's side. I don't really know them, but I did share because I'm a public figure and I have over 1,000 subscribers. If somebody tags me, I have to basically acknowledge it. But no, I've donated, shared it on Facebook, and we really, regardless, he's 10 years old, and this poor
Yeah.
young boy is fighting for his life right now. So it doesn't matter whether I've met him or not. He deserves our prayers. And hello to my buddy Comatose. Comatose is from Idaho. I don't know how far Idaho is from you guys again, but he is from
Depends on
Idaho.
which part. I know Boise's about 15
He
hours.
he's in McCall. He's in
Okay,
McCall, Idaho.
that's probably that's about 13 and a half hours
Okay,
away.
then never mind. He's too far. He's actually the BTW TV champion and BYW Interpromotional champion. He wrestles in Roseburg, Oregon for BTW. And
Ask him.
yes,
Yeah.
mhm.
Contact me, please.
I'll take. I'll when we're off I'll give you his info. You'd like him a lot. He's a really really great guy. I'll connect you with some of those guys in BTW. Thank you, Silas. I did mention the unfortunate thing about but you told me to rewatch that. Thank you for that. Yes, Zilla is definitely the greatest BYW fan. I still don't know why she won't want to come on Sportswire still and show it, but we'll figure that another day. El Sombre did give the champion. That was a good match. That was a really good match, I got to say. It said 3 times over. No spear from the face of America. Spike DDT, brothers. Gets him every damn time. Said 3 times from, well, actually, yeah, 3 times. And yeah, we don't want to get canceled. We definitely don't want to get canceled. And you are still the DBW Global Champion to me. And you guys are in a good neighborhood in Bismarck. Getting to the top is difficult. Maintaining it is even more of a challenge. He held 3 championships at one point. He would know. 3 championships. He holds 2 currently. He knows. Talent recognizes talent. Talent recognizes talent. Bunch of rollback prices. I've only been to Walmart one time in my life. That was in 2002 when my uncle lived in Greenwich, Connecticut. We don't have Walmart in New York City. That's my reason. And happy birthday. Yes, well, I'll connect you to Comatose when we're off the air. Comatose, you really like Comatose a lot. And good evening, Zilla. Okay, but obviously, yes, you got those rollback prices, and then Scary Terry is getting that. So we'll watch the match. I'm going to bring on the Wilster here in about 5 or 10 minutes. But before I do that, actually, I do want to present, now that we've got this out of the way, and you've won another match, congratulations. Your 2 title defenses we showed on Sportswire, and a big win for sure. This is the LBYW YouTube page. I want you to hit that sub button. If you're here right now, there's a bunch of you still here on Sportswire. Go hit the sub for our friends in LBYW. I would appreciate that very much. So if you have a chance, hit the sub button for them. They're almost at 1,600 subscribers. I would really appreciate that. But before I get to some final words for you, there is something that I need to present on behalf of LBYW. Since you're the world champion, I have to do it while you're on the screen.
Okay.
So, you sure I can do this?
You go for it. Send it. Full send, bud.
All right. Well, on this date, October 12th, 2024, it is LBYW Day on all Sportswire radio platforms. We will send the certificate over, obviously, to management. But congratulations to everybody here in the locker room. LBYW is finishing very strong, going into its final full shows coming up here, such as we have one more throwdown. We have also the Haunted Hellfest. So we have a lot of great stuff still ahead in the final season. But I wanted to make this special because we're just less than 3 weeks away from Haunted Hellfest. It is now LBYW Day on all Sportswire radio platforms. And congratulations, everybody.
Thank you so much. As the world champion Napalm here, on behalf of LBYW, we highly appreciate it. And we thank every single one for this. And thank you for tuning in and seeing us do what we do best.
And I'm looking forward to next month inducting the company into the Hall of Fame next month. It's going to be a really emotional show for sure. But I'm very excited about that. That'll be at a date announced. So we're going to definitely pull that out here for everybody to get a chance to watch. That'll be sometime next month. So I'm very excited that LBYW will join the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame alongside the many great talents and great companies. So that's going to be something we're excited about. And the Wilster will be here in about 5 or 10 minutes. But before I do anything else, I wanted to ask you, do you have any final words for the Alpha ahead of Haunted Hellfest?
For the Alpha.
Yep.
Oh, great. Alpha, I told you at the end of mine and El Sombre's match, I see you. And we'll see who remembers who. We'll see if you remember the time that you tapped, the time that you got pinned twice. And this time around, I'm going to kill you.
Oh my God. You just say kill?
So, bring it on, buddy.
Oh,
appreciate you. And all of you for being here. So, on October 31st is when it's all going down.
Oh my God. You just said you're going to kill the Alpha. You're going to kill the Alpha. And we know what that Haunted Hellfest setup is going to be like. It's not what we just saw in the LBYW arena. You guys are going to be out there in a park, in a huge park. Who knows what's going to happen? You and the Alpha in a park, in a public recreational place. Oh my goodness. It could literally be hell freezing over, Napalm.
It will
Hell
be.
freezing over.
It will.
I don't know. Listen, maybe the Alpha should reconsider the plans.
Nah, there's no backing out now.
Now you sure?
No, I'm positive.
Back out. If it was me, I'd back out.
It's just time to end this once and for all.
Well, you said you want to kill him, and you've also said what you're going to do during the match, and I guess we'll have to find out here in less than 20 days from now. I want to pass the baton to you. I want to give you some closing thoughts. Is there anything else that you want to say to us before the Wilster comes on?
Everybody that's watching, please tune in to Haunted Hellfest. Please.
Yes.
Watch it. Tell your friends to watch it. Subscribe.
Well, the road to Haunted Hellfest just got 700 plus views. That was a couple weeks ago. 700 plus views.
I know, and it's beautiful. But I want
talent
everybody to
recognizes
witness.
Talent. That's why to quote the Wilster.
I want everybody to watch what's going to happen to the Alpha.
Well, there's a lot of things I want to watch. And hopefully we'll get a chance to watch it and talk about it after the show. And I'm looking forward to putting you and the rest of the LBYW locker room into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame where you guys belong. And one more time, it's LBYW Day on Sportswire Radio. So we'll have to see if you're going to live up to your end of the bargain. But I know one thing, I'll definitely be tuning in, and we'll have a lot to talk about, undoubtedly. And Champ, I'm really looking forward to seeing you after the show. Wishing you a lot of luck. Congratulations on reclaiming the LBYW World Championship and holding on to it this time for longer than a few minutes. You've been successful so far with that championship. Now I'm going to bring on the face of America to give us his side of the story coming up. He'll definitely talk about a man you don't like too much in White Viper. And I'm sure a lot of other things we'll definitely get into that I know you'll definitely be tuning in eagerly to.
Sounds good. Until next time.
Oh, there will be a next time right after Haunted Hellfest. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the reigning defending LBYW World Champion, the American Badass Napalm. He'll be in action in the main event of Haunted Hellfest against the Alpha for the LBYW World Heavyweight Championship. We'll definitely see you in a few weeks. Keep up the good work and happy belated birthday. And I'm here next Sunday night, so anybody's welcome from LBYW to stop in, say something funny about me, make fun of me, or whatever else. And my big special at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So, but we'll promote that throughout the week. We'll take care of that. But until then, I'll see you soon, champ.
Yes, sir. See you then.
That was Napalm, the reigning defending LBYW World Champion. But now it's time to bring on a man that has not been on Sportswire Radio in more than a year. He is not only the leader of PBS, not only is he the reigning defending LBYW United States champion, he is the face of America. We are looking at none other than the legendary, the Welster. The champ is here, and he has arrived for the first time on Sportswire Radio in over 16 months. Champ, how are we doing?
Doing fantastic, Tom. How are you? And by the way, I would like to also mention that once again, you have, beyond a shadow of doubt, the greatest mutton chops in the history of humankind. There's nobody, and this is not pandering. This is not pandering to you up there in New York City. This is simply stating a fact. Remember when I said talent recognizes talent?
Yes, sir.
Brother,
yes.
I tried pulling that off probably about 15 years ago. Couldn't do it because
so what happened? Why did you give it up? You became the face of America.
I'm a ginger man. I mean,
you became the face of America. That's why. Were you basically?
Well, I wasn't the face of America back then. But here's the thing. Okay, I want to tell you this before we begin. Do you know why gingers have so many freckles on their body? Do you know what that is, Tom?
I do not know. So elaborate to the audience.
Don't know. That is all the souls that we devour.
Ah, I see. So hopefully I won't become one of those souls, and I'll stay as far away as possible away from PBS. Unlike, let's say, the likes of White Viper and let's say Psychotic Freak as examples.
Well, okay. I would just like to start by saying it's been a very good year for the Wilster. Okay.
I see PBS has been pretty much running roughshod, and Napalm's talking about, oh, well, maybe they're at the end. And I was like, well, wait a minute. I wouldn't say that at all.
And the thing is, look, my year started off, I had the privilege of going to one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time.
I saw it on your Instagram. Yes, I do keep up with Instagram. I do like a lot of your posts on Instagram, by the way.
Yes,
I think I do come up on the timeline.
I had a chance to see one of my close personal friends, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, finish the story.
Yep.
Okay.
Two Georgia boys, I would imagine.
You're damn right. You're damn right. Go Dogs, by the way. We got a victory today. I wasn't happy about it, but we got a victory.
Well, win's a win in this world.
Win's a win. We got Texas next Saturday night. I'll be tuning in.
Well, that one I would be a little bit more worried about, but go ahead.
We've been here before. We know what the deal is. But anyway, Tom, it's good to be back here on Sportzwire.
Good to have you back. It's been over almost 16 months. I can't believe it, but
if you recall, when you had me on 16 months ago, I was in the middle of rehabilitating an injury.
Yes, I do remember that. Yes. But you're doing great now. You got Showtime with you. You got Nate Dogg. I mean, I won't ask you much about Scary Terry though.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, I wake up every morning. Okay, you know what's really difficult? It's not really because nobody else can really understand it because none of them does it. When you wake up every morning and you piss excellence, it's outstanding. I mean,
I hadn't thought about that, but I'll get back to you by the time you come back on next month for the.
When you see, here's the thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here tonight. Thank you.
I know. I'm happy to have you. I mean, we did two for the price of one today. I thought that would be kind of a fun thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have officially brought class to Sportswire Radio tonight, sir. So you're welcome.
I actually could use that considering what's going on in BYW. A week and a half ago, there were certain people that probably should have either burned or maybe still be in jail. Man, but thank you. We moved on.
I didn't hear any. I didn't see that. But I was told a little bit about that, and I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you this. I will give you credit
for
that. Kind of just uncovered itself, didn't it?
When the individual told me, James Taylor, that I've got this information, he's like, do you think I should bring it on the air? I'm like, if you don't bring it on the air, I'm going to have a guilty conscience.
Correct.
Please bring it up. I had no idea about what went on. And, one of the companies used to come on regularly to Sportswire, and now they'll never come on again. And the other one closed. So
absolutely.
That was bizarre.
It is what it is. So,
yeah.
It's been regardless of what people say, it's been a very good year for PBS. Okay. We evolve. We don't disintegrate. Okay.
Yeah.
And by the way, I would also like to say, not only am I the United States champion and the face of America, I am, you remember the old free bird rule, Tom?
Yes.
Everybody does.
Yes. And the Wilster just froze on us. What's the Wilster?
See, my cat is one cat of America. But
anyway, the cat of America. I see.
Yes. We have a free bird rule. All right. So I'm Wilster two belts, man. It's outstanding.
Oh, yes, with the tag team champions.
Yes. I mean, so I'm the face of America. And the best part is I am, if anything, a humble man. Okay.
Yes, I would definitely say you're very humble. You're obviously very peaceful.
Okay.
And people saw that when you did your tour across in Capitol grounds where you talked about the two presidential candidates and said,
absolutely, those two schmucks running for president. I mean, come on. I mean, who wants to vote for those two idiots? I sure don't. I mean, I'm not going to vote for either one of them.
Are you on the ballot this year? You on the ballot?
I sure as hell should be. Why wouldn't I be? I mean, God. I mean,
I was wondering. I was going to ask you if you were on the ballot.
I will be, because when I probably vote on election day, I'm probably going to vote for quite possibly the best American living right now in this country.
You actually no longer have competition, because there was a guy, Sean Jovi, who was calling himself America's resident rock star, but a few weeks ago he lost his United States championship to another individual. Yeah, he lost it to an individual that I would rather not mention at the moment.
If he's lost it to an individual, that you can't even mention,
Well, I
What
could mention him, but just that he was here like 3 times in the last week on Sportswire.
what
Anthony Steele. He's
what
a
kind of
well-known figure in the backyard
that's
of
cool,
wrestling.
Anthony Steele. I'd beat his ass too. I'm not worried about him. But this guy lost to a guy that you won't even name on the radio. So what does that make him? It makes him an absolute dick slap at this point. And it makes me the man. I mean, let's think about
I
it.
actually mentioned you in one of the Jovi segments because I said that you were calling yourself the face of America and he was America's resident rock star. Yeah, well, he lost the title to Anthony Steele about 3 weeks ago, so that's no longer.
Ain't that the breaks, right? Ain't that the breaks?
I suppose. I mean, I suppose that's how it goes. I wouldn't know because I'm not the face of America, but I digress. Good to be with you. It has been a hot skip in a minute. So I want to talk to you, though, about a couple things here first. I'm going to put up, obviously, the LBYW stuff back up on the screen. I know there are people here in and out throughout the evening over the next 45 minutes, but you are defending that United States Championship at Haunted Hellfest against a man that you have, or a thing that you've been talking about and dealing with over the past few months in White Viper. But not only are you defending this championship, you are putting your career on the line. And I was wondering, for those that are listening and watching here on Sportswire Radio, Mr. Wilster, the leader of PBS, the United States champion, and the face of America, why are you putting up your career in addition to that United States Championship at Haunted Hellfest against White Viper?
I'll tell you why I'm putting my career on the line, okay? You see, Reverend, all right, you see, Tom.
Yes, sir.
They say that, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results, right?
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So and by the way, I'd like to point out, this is yet again another member of my group who thought they could do and go and be on their own.
He had all the gold a few months ago. He was the man sitting on top of the throne in LBYW.
He was the belt collector. He was only one, if I'm correct, of 2 or 3 of the unified champions that had it all. I think the Alpha I think he was the only other one that ever accomplished it.
Yeah, well, I don't know how do we refer to him as what he used to be or just a different name. I don't know.
Whatever the hell the guy is. But he was the only other one that did it. Okay? So what I'm trying to tell you is let's take some examples here. Okay?
Okay. Yes, sir.
I soft spot in my heart for her because I really think she is one of the toughest women in this company, and that's Queen Justice. Okay?
Absolutely. Who held the world title. Yes.
For sure. But she's also the queen of the ring. She's not the king. She is the queen of the ring.
Yes.
But hold on a second. No. Let's go back to Exhibit A. Let's go back to the first exhibit. Let's talk about the psychotic freak real quick. Okay.
I was going to get to it in about 10 minutes, but go ahead.
But what I was going to say was the example here is this. Okay. It's the psychotic freak thought that he could go off on his own, and look at that. Aren't I great? I mean, look at all that championship gold I've got. It's ridiculous. But anyway, he thought he could go off on his own. Okay. And then what did he do? He got some bullshit pin on me at Hellfest last year. It was a gimmick match. Okay. I got power bomb.
He was here on Sportswire in previous episodes. He's been here.
Exactly. And by the way, what does he look like now? He's a walking mash unit.
Well, the first time he was here, the man you're sitting next to, Nate Dogg, senselessly attacked him. And then on top of that, I mean, he has a neck brace. And then for whatever reason, he decided to show up a few LBYW Throwdown episodes prior. And I don't even know why he showed up. And
I'll tell you why. Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because the psychotic freak is an absolute moron. I'll tell you why he showed up. It's amazing. This guy right here. Now, what I can't understand about this guy is, look at that T-shirt. Isn't that T-shirt fantastic? They even made me a T-shirt. I'm making wrestling legendary again, Tom. Isn't that fantastic? Okay. And by the way, before we continue, watch how Nate's going to flip the shirt around. He's going to flip the shirt around. Flip the shirt around, Nate. Oh, there it is. Look.
Maybe Kamala Harris or Donald Trump should have picked you as vice president. Maybe
Donald Trump. If Donald Trump had picked me as his running mate, they would have fired his ass and they would have put me in as the main guy to run because nobody likes that.
But Kamala Harris could have picked you.
She could have, but she's an idiot too. So, I mean, the fact of the matter is, what I'm trying to make is, let me go back on track here. The point is, all these people in my in my faction, in my family that tried to go off and do it on their own have all figured out a way to fail. All right.
Right.
And all right. So I'm going to tell you why I'm going to put my career on the line. Okay. White Viper's another one. White Viper's another one. This schmuck had all the gold. Okay.
Yep. I know. I remember it when we had Napalm here months ago, the first time. Yep.
Now, Napalm can say that he helped me, but basically what he did was his rage overcame his rage. He was tired of White Viper. And you know what? Yep. And by the way, I want to point out the fact that when I beat White Viper's ass at Summer Madness for this beautiful piece of gold, which I will never, ever lose.
I mean, you nearly had him like decapitated.
It was great, wasn't it? I mean, it was outstanding. I mean, everybody likes to see a good decapitation at least once or twice a year. I mean, it's great. So, yes, I did. So this is what happens when you cross me. I'm a former world champion.
Yep.
Okay. I'm a tag team champion.
Yep.
Okay. And I would also like the fact I am the figurehead of one of the most dangerous factions in backyard wrestling Nexus history.
Yes, and LBYW for sure.
I mean, let's think about this for a second. You have Showtime, who is like a 6'3",
and he comes from where I'm from, Brooklyn, New York. He comes from Brooklyn.
He's probably the only person from Brooklyn, New York that I even respect. But anyway, the fact of the matter is,
you do know that
I had to do it. I mean, I can't have this cap on. And
you do know that I was born in Brooklyn, Mr. Wilson.
I do know that, and I'm a Braves fan. It's almost impossible.
Well, I could understand where you're coming from, but anyway, I promise you we won't talk baseball here. But
correct. Now, anyway, he is literally. I mean, who wants to go against that guy? My God,
I'm not.
Have you heard how his chops sound? I think even Gunther.
I have. I have. Yes, I have. I've been covering you guys for 2 years. I'm well aware.
I think even Gunther would actually be impressed with how Showtime lays it on people. So the point is, I'm putting my career on the line because I have already beat this guy's ass at Summer Madness. I beat his ass on the Capitol grounds, which was funny because I beat his ass so bad. And not only did I beat his ass in front of the whole town. So this dude, it's a good thing that nobody knows what's under his mask, because if they did, the entire town would be completely embarrassed by this dude.
Or maybe the town then would have decided not to allow you guys to have Haunted Hellfest in the big park.
No. They probably would, because they recognized my greatness in front of God Almighty.
Gotcha.
You know, and I beat this guy so bad, so I have no problem putting my career on the line against this cross-eyed halfwit White Viper at Haunted Hellfest 4 at the end of the month.
Is there any concern, though, that you might be saying so much that you can't cash the check after it now?
All right. That's a good question, Tom. But let me ask you this. What is the current score between me and White Viper? If you count the tag match, I've won.
You have the upper hand. I mean, there's no question you have the upper hand. You have the advantage.
So what's that?
You have the upper hand. You have the advantage. There's no denying that at all.
Correct. So I'm not going to sit here and go into this thinking, ooh, man, I'm so scared of this idiot. And I will give White Viper credit for one thing. The difference between him and the Freak, at least the White Viper's not stupid enough to try to break in my home, because he knows that he'd get thrown in jail and he would never come out. Now, he might have.
Well, Psychotic Freak, I'm still not quite sure why we saw him on LBYW TV a few weeks ago. That, with the neck injury is serious, and it was mentioned on Sportzwire. You guys used that on your programming, and I still don't understand his logic. I mean, I know he's psychotic, but there's being psychotic and there's being that.
Here's the difference between what the Freak did and Viper, okay? At least White Viper is cognizant of the law, okay? And to be honest with you, let me tell you something else. It was lucky that the Freak actually made it to our match on time last year. He was at the count of 8 or 9 before that moron showed up to our match. So, the Viper can say, and you know what gets me? I think he's trying to be like Batman, because every time he talks like this all the time. and this is what I'm gonna do to the Wilster.
But Showtime is going to basically finish what's left of him in Haunted Hellfest.
Well, no, now if we want to go down the card here, this is going to be an easy dub all the way down. I mean, it's ridiculous. If you think about it, you have Showtime taking on the Psychotic Freak, who's basically not even the dude.
I said it. I don't even know. I mean, he basically made it. The timetable is he's not going to be ready. So, I mean, basically, you're getting him, and he really should just not show up. I mean, that
he probably
I'm in full agreement with you on that. He should not show up for his own
and,
sanity.
all right. So then after that match, all right, on the card, you have the tag team match, which is going to be Nate Dogg and God bless him, Scary Terry. All right, are defending the tag team titles against Ragnarok and Queen Justice. Okay. All right. Now that's going to be a formidable opponent because
That's going to be, well, unfortunately, consider that to be a 2-on-1 match.
You might as well consider that a handicap match because, it's one of those things, at Christmas time where you see the stupid moron with the bell ringing it, and you feel compelled to give the guy some cash.
Yes.
Terry might as well be that
over the years. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He might as well be that idiot ringing the stupid bell. So let it not be said. Everybody paints me as this awful human being, right?
Oh, so you're misunderstood then. You've been misunderstood.
I've been misunderstood for the last 3.5 friggin' years. All right. And I'm going to tell you something else. We talk about 15 plus subscribers. Now, everybody knows that the Wilster puts asses in the seats, dude. That's how it was. All right. When I joined 3 years ago, I don't remember what we had, but we sure as hell aren't. See, there you go. The face of America. Beautiful, beautiful insignia. So after
maybe we should take over Sportzwire. I want to retire. The subscribers will go up.
You know what we ought to do? We ought to do a swap to where I can be the guest host. I can fly up to New York City, and I can be the guest host of Sportswire Radio for you one day. You can take a well-deserved vacation, okay? And I can see. Look at that schmuck with that stupid mask on. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know how the hell he's even remotely.
I was gonna always ask this question. I've never had. Well, how does he breathe when it's really hot? And when you
who knows? Who knows? I have no idea. It's like I'm facing some kind of like alien or something, dude. So the bottom line is this: I've already beat his ass twice, Tom. Okay, twice.
Yeah,
I don't know why this guy's asking for it again. And
I guess you could say, well, the theory is that it's hard to beat somebody 3 times. Like, let's go with the analogy of sports, not with Atlanta, but a couple of years ago, the 49ers and the Rams played, and they played in the NFC Championship game, and the 49ers had beat the Rams twice, and they were playing them the 3rd time. And it's very difficult to beat a team 3 times in a short amount of time. And the Rams wound up beating the 49ers. They won the NFC Championship. You could make the case, maybe, I know you've got this on lock, but it is still very hard to beat somebody 3 times in a row.
That's a good point. However, you got the White Viper here, okay? Number one, he can barely breathe. He can't even breathe out of his mask.
I agree with you on that one, Mr. Wilster.
Okay, number 2, who's he got to have his back? He used to have a gigantic family faction that had his back. Yep. That dude to the right in that awesome red T-shirt, that damn fine, handsome.
You look good. I mean, the missus obviously. I mean, I know she
once
picked
again,
well.
just like he wanted to go and do his own.
The red looks good on you. You should stay in the red all the time.
Red and black, dude. Go Dogs, brother. I've been saying that to you people the whole time. Most of the people up in the Northeast can't really appreciate SEC football, but that's okay.
Well, so, I will say in New York City, we don't have a college football team. That would be my excuse.
You do not. But
they claim to be Notre Dame fans, which I'm like, never.
Oh, God. I think I'd jump off a bridge if I was a Notre Dame.
I would say don't do that, but I will say you are definitely doing something to White Viper.
I mean, look at this. I mean, I'm slamming him into this statue of these schmucks that are apparently Lewis Clark and Sacagawea, and she's holding some kind of kid. I don't even know. The kid probably doesn't even know who his dad is. Like the promo I did right outside the statue. But anyway, I'm gonna kick White Viper's ass. All right, and then we're gonna move on. Okay, we're gonna move on. Okay, that's what's gonna happen.
You basically they're like nothing to you. They've been.
I mean, look at that. I mean, he can't even get any offense in. Look at this fool. I mean, right here, I'm begging him to hit me. The dude can't even lay a shot on me.
He needs Popeye. When Popeye would get the spinach, maybe that would have worked. But
I don't think that would work either. This dude could do a 5-hour energy drink. Dude, you could gas this dude up, man. He's not going to do anything. He's not going to do anything. So,
right now he's not doing anything because you're punching him.
He's not doing a damn thing, dude. I mean, I'm kicking this guy's ass. Look at those nice blue Air Force Ones I've got on my feet, man. I mean, that's how the Wilster rolls, brother. We don't go to friggin' Payless shoes, dude. We have quality. All right, quality where I'm at. I mean, boom. I mean, look at that. Oh, those blue ones are nice, man. I need to go break them out again. Yep. I mean, but
you gonna wear them at Haunted Hellfest or nah? I wouldn't want to do that.
I don't know, man. I mean, it depends. I might wear the red ones at Haunted Hellfest. I haven't decided on my costume for Hellfest, but I think it's going to be really great. I have decided on my entrance theme for Hellfest, and I'm gonna.
Well, don't tell us that yet because we'll have to check it and watch.
Dude, we're not going to say that. This is where the suspense comes in. I can't wait to debut that. That night at Hellfest is going to be really great.
You're choking White Viper. White Viper could be on his deathbed here.
Isn't he though? I mean, look at that. I mean, he's got a face only a mother could love. But I mean, nobody even knows who his mom is. And if I was his mother, I would have disowned his sorry ass a long time ago. You know what I mean? So
duly
noted. Look at that. Boom, right to the midsection. I mean, the guy's a chump. He can't handle it. He's getting a beat down by a $500 pair of shoes. I mean, come on, man. I mean, the fact is he's a piece of shit. And I'm going to flush his ass down the toilet where he belongs. There's not going to be any plunger.
And especially this is the final full season of LBYW. We may never see White Viper again if you have your way with them in Haunted Hellfest.
That works for me. I mean, because come on, what is he doing? He is doing what he has been doing, and that's just taking up space.
I don't know.
He's taking up space. Look at those shoes he's got on, man. I mean, it looks like he bought them at the friggin', Seeds of Hope or something, man. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
They used to have a thing in New York when you needed shoes. You go to the Salvation Army. That's where
Salvation Army works. Yeah. I don't know, Goodwill or whatever. I mean, but the guy, I mean, I did kick him in the balls, but the thing is, I don't think he has any. So that's probably the only play. Oh, another 3 count. Boom. It's ridiculous, man. I mean, I beat his ass.
This will just be a breeze for you. It's going to
be a breeze. I mean, I'm going to sit there and beat the shit out of him on the biggest stage that we've ever had. Okay, on the biggest stage.
How exciting though is that though to wrestle in the stage we're going to have in LBYW? It's going to be a big setup. I know we spoke about that when Mr. CJ was here, and that's got to be exciting.
And I know you probably saw the set reveal.
Yes, yes, we talked about it when CJ was here about a month ago.
Okay, and I will, that is going to be a big stage. There's going to be a lot. Our turnout is expected to be very, very, very hefty. It could be the biggest turnout we've ever had for an event of this magnitude. So it's going to be, the stage is going to be great. I am on the main stage as I should always be on the main stage, Tom. I mean, come on. I should always be on the main stage. I should never be an afterthought ever. I should always be the main.
Well, I don't think anybody from LBYW is going to be an afterthought at Haunted Hellfest because you guys are going to have a really big turnout, and that's got to also motivate you further, not only you with the rest of PBS, because again, what the setup's going to be like. You guys are going to have a lot of people watching. I know you guys always get big crowds for Haunted Hellfest, but this one's going to be like no other.
That's correct. The card itself is going to be great. It's shaped up really good. And we didn't really know how the card was going to shape up, about 2 months ago, month and a half ago.
I think Napalm was here 2 months ago. We spoke about that. He was
now Napalm. Him and the Alpha are going to be in the main event, of course. Because
what about that phone call between you and him? I asked Napalm that, but you remember that phone call a couple months ago? He did a promo, and
it may have rang a bell a little bit. Yeah. Now here's the thing. I made that phone call for a reason, because here's the thing. I have managed champions in my faction. All right.
Yes,
we have had. Think about it. Everybody's been a world champion in that faction. Showtime was the interstate champion.
I remember that very well.
All right. Think about it. All right. In that faction, I was the world champion. All right. Nate Dogg's been the world champion. Okay.
Yeah. When you had White Viper, when you had him,
White Viper had them all. So the bottom line is this. He's right. There is no beef between me and Napalm. I think I mentioned last year, I thank him for his service for our country, of course.
Yep.
Now I can appreciate how strong and how tough he is. Okay,
He's an American badass, obviously.
he is the
And you're
American
the face of
badass.
America. I mean,
That's
so
correct.
there is some similarities, but
I
he
mean,
seems like he doesn't want to go in your direction.
and okay, I mean that is his prerogative. He can do what he wants
I
to do.
brought up why not have friends? Why not? But he says he wants to go it alone, and he doesn't work with other people. That's what he says.
Okay. Now I will say this: the opponent that he's got at Hellfest, okay, whether he's the alpha, or whether he's who I faced at Hellfest 2 years ago. All right. Let's keep one thing in mind. This dude's been doing this a long time.
Yes, he has.
The guy that he's faced. Now, what I will point out, and as much as I can't stand the little bastard, okay, and as much as we've had our differences in the past, that man on the screen right there has created a juggernaut of a backyard wrestling federation up here in the upper Northwest.
No question about it. The guy's almost 1,600 subscribers. The Road to Haunted Hellfest has almost 720 views, and you guys bring in Kurt Adams, a BYW legend. I mean,
that is correct.
Some pretty big stuff going into this.
Kurt is somebody that I'm gonna tell you something. I have seen this dude.
He has wrestled some big names.
Yes,
big names that have been on Sportswire. Big names in the BYW. It's big to have.
I don't know if he could defeat Gunshot though. I'm sorry, I had to get the Gunshot.
You know what? Don't even bring him up because he goes on these Instagram lives and talks about what he knows about these pedos and these creeps. And
that right there was amazing. As far as the only thing I wish, the only thing I truly wish, in my heart of hearts, was that he could have made it up here for our Hall of Famer, our ex-GM, our Hall of Famer, Chris Aruda, to beat the ever-loving piss out of that dude.
Yeah, but there's a long line of BYW people that want to. He's a squirt gun, basically.
He is basically a squirt gun. So our event's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it because the fact of the matter is this is going to be the easy dub, brother. This is going to be an easy dub, man. I'm going to kick this guy's ass, and I have no idea. It's going to be so simple.
So you're not even sweating this at all, going into
not sweating him at all. No? I mean, at all. I mean, the dude, Viper is somebody that you can't take lightly. However, I would even go on par to say that dude on the screen right there that beat him. All right, now if I was facing Napalm instead, I would be sweating him.
No, I would agree with that.
But just because of what I've seen, and I'm not trying to sit here and kiss Napalm's ass.
No.
But I'm just going by what I've seen. Okay, this dude is the world champion for a reason. I mean, he's beat everybody that there is to beat. I think that main event between him and the Alpha, it is a blood feud that is kind of on the Drew McIntyre CM. Feud has gotten so nasty and so personal on a personal level that there's only one way to end it, and that's at Haunted Hellfest. That there's no bigger stage than a main event like that. None. So that's the facts. Period.
Sorry about that. We got disconnected, bro.
Technical difficulties, please stand by.
Technical difficulties do happen.
But what I'm trying to say is there's no bigger stage for either of those guys in the main event than to be in the main event. That's where they should be.
Absolutely. Oh, for sure. No, hands down. No question about that. What I wanted to do is put up the LBYW YouTube page while you were doing that. Unfortunately, I pressed the wrong button, but this is the YouTube channel where you can watch Haunted Hellfest because we are less than 20 days away from Haunted Hellfest. Yes, we are. And that United States Championship is going to be on the line with the face of America, the leader of PBS, the United States champion. The Wilster will be taking on the White Viper. And if the Wilster, for whatever reason, loses, his career is over. But the Wilster's basically not worried about that. He talked about that in his most recent promo on Throwdown. Not at all worried about it. And he feels he'll be on top for years and years to come, and nothing will ever change. So
let's think about it. Okay, as of tonight.
Okay,
if you really want to take it down into days, I have been the United States champion for 69 days.
Yeah, I was going to say about 2 months. So
okay. And by the time we reach Hellfest,
it'll be
close. It'll be around 70, 82, 83 days.
Right.
What's going to happen is this. I am going to be the United States champion forever. You think Roman Reigns had a long reign as the WWE champion? Well, screw that guy. Screw Roman Reigns anyway. He went to Georgia Tech, so screw that guy. But anyway, I will surpass Roman Reigns. And at the end of the day, everybody's going to be acknowledging me.
Oh, my God. So you mean to say, Welster, that you're going to be the face of America? I mean, those certainly won't need term limits for you. There'll be no term limits at all. You'll be champion.
There's no term limits for this, brother. I mean, the only way to stop me from being the face of America is to simply do one thing. And, well, I haven't seen anybody that can do that, and it's not going to happen anytime soon. You're not going to beat a Bulldog fan. See that sign behind me right there? Bulldog fans live here.
I see that. And you know what? And I think right now White Viper and Psychotic Freak might want to certainly find something else to do. And Ragnarok and Queen Just Ice might also want to reevaluate their plans as well coming up. That's certainly what I
probably. I mean, you got. We are still very dangerous, and everybody was. I heard Napalm mention that he got a group together so he could rid the world of PBS at war last year.
It didn't work though, but that didn't work. You guys are still
didn't work. Didn't work.
So Napalm should really. I mean, he's right now focused on the Alpha, so I mean, there's really nothing to do about that. But he had a couple of comments. He wanted to say it's because the last time I trusted and was with somebody, they turned on me. And that's why the Alpha is still screwed. That's his comments, first of all, about some of the things we talked about between you and that conversation and that phone call or whatever it was, where there was sort of, I guess, no, I don't know. It was just, he kind of helped you guys, but it never went anything other than,
well,
he is and who he is.
The phone call was something that I've been considered doing that for a while. All right. And it just, the day that I made the phone call. Well, first of all, he wanted to know how the hell I got his number. Well, I'm the Wilster. I can do any damn thing I want.
I mean, you're the face of America. So, I mean, you can find everybody's phone number.
I've got everybody's damn phone number, man. Everybody. I don't care. I don't need some stupid phone book. I mean, in fact, I should probably also have my own certificate just for being who the hell I am right now.
Well, so, I mean, I had thought about that, but I thought let's just generalize it and make it LBYW Day. Then, you will be going in the Hall of Fame, though, next month, the Wilster. You're going to be
Absolutely.
a Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer. Acknowledge me for the ones up, brother. But
we're acknowledging LBYW, that's for sure. We're going to definitely do that next month.
After I beat the White Viper's sorry ass at Haunted Hellfest, and he's about as sorry as they come. Or let me do it in his voice. After I beat his ass.
But what will happen if your career is over where you're not able to compete in ring anymore? You had the injury last year. What would happen if by some reason you lost at Haunted Hellfest and your in-ring career is over? What would that mean?
Tom, here's the thing. I respect you, okay? I respect you for having me on there. But I'm sorry, but
not going to happen.
That's got to be the stupidest question I've ever heard from anybody.
Last week's show, there was plenty of things when we had certain.
Be better than that, Reverend. Be better than that, because that right there is not going to happen. I'm going to kick the ever-loving piss out of this freak, and that's going to be it. I mean, that's going to be it. I don't know what else.
So will we be planning funerals for the White Viper and the Psychotic Freak especially?
Now, hold on. Now, I didn't. Now, the only difference between me and Napalm out here talking about how he's going to 187 the hell out of the Alpha. Me.
That's too far,
I would rather beat somebody's ass so bad that where they wish they were dead and not actually kill them, because then they don't get to feel pain anymore if they're dead.
Well, the Alpha, I think in that case, maybe the Alpha might need that, but I guess that's his vantage point. But you still wouldn't want to kill the Psychotic Freak in the White Viper. No.
Well, I want to kill their stupid careers, And if the White Viper
Freak, I still don't understand, Mr. Wilster, why he's even showing up potentially to wrestle.
Have you seen how bad Have you seen how bad?
I know. I had him on Sportzwire. I had him here. Had him here at the neck race.
He's walking around. I just don't know if I'm going to be medically cleared, brother. I mean, I think it's great. I absolutely rejoice in the Psychotic Freak suffering, man. It's great The guy's sitting there with that stupid laugh that he has. Oh my God. You know, it's like nails down a chalkboard, dude. And he's got his ass whooped by Showtime. I mean, Showtime. I mean, look at this dude. Look how big this dude is, man. I mean, the guy he picks the him up like he's nothing. And then he's gonna look at him. He's got him like, oh, this is gonna get real bad. Hey, freak, what you think about this, brother? How about this? Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about.
I still don't know why Psychotic Freak would even bother potentially showing up to Haunted Hellfest.
In my opinion, Reverend, that the freak, I think he gets off on pain. I think the freak wants to get his ass
there's
pushed all
that.
the time.
Well, there's that, and then what I just saw, Mr. Wilster. So I'm not quite sure if that would still be my idea of being the right move, but obviously that's that. Let me get to some comments here. We're here for a little while.
The whole thing boils down to the fact.
And by the way,
I mean, he can't even.
Zilla's a fan of yours.
Oh, look at that! Thank you, Zilla.
Zilla is like the super fan of backyard wrestling. So you've got.
I think so, and it seems to me like Zilla is also a fan of the Face of America. Okay,
she is. Yes, Zilla is. Yes,
yes, and she has obviously made a good choice.
Her favorite wrestler though in PBS is Showtime though.
Good choice. Okay. Showtime is. I mean,
but you're not mad. You're not mad that you're not her favorite wrestler, but you're okay.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Showtime's kicking the living piss out of everybody.
That's true.
I mean, there's no. I'm trying to figure out how on earth anybody's going to beat him. So if the freak's got the balls, which I don't even think, if the freak can actually feel his extremities, he might actually show up at Hellfest. I don't see it coming.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest debate in LBYW. Him showing up. I don't know how and why. For what reason he should.
Here, man. Look at how look at him. Boom, right to the freaking noggin,
I mean,
man.
He might have permanent. Listen, he might have permanent spinal damage if he actually shows up. He could have like spinal stenosis.
That's a shame. Boy, wouldn't that be a shame?
Well, I mean, I don't want to certainly wish anybody bodily harm. I know, obviously, Napalm Alpha Dead. Well, I mean, tonight, boy, LBYW is serial diving into things because Napalm wants the Alpha Dead. You want bodily harm to Psychotic freaking White Viper. I mean, I don't know if I can legally go that far.
Well, hold on a second. Okay, I understand where you're going there, but let's think about this for a second.
Yeah.
This idiot in the freak basically blitz attacked me outside my year and a half ago and cost me literally almost 10 weeks of my career.
Time he was here. Yeah, he did talk about that. And
all right. So all I'm saying to this is the Karma Police have pulled up to the White Viper's driveway and they have arrested his ass and thrown him in the back seat of the paddy wagon because Karma is a bitch. And he is literally getting every single thing that he deserves right now. And at Haunted Hellfest, White Viper's going to get exactly what his ass deserves once I finally flush him down the toilet like the absolute turd that he is.
Well, we're going to have to find out. I'll tell you that much. If you want to go and watch Haunted Hellfest, that's the LBYW YouTube page.
Absolutely. You need to subscribe.
You definitely do because we want to see them get to 1,600 subscribers. 17,
correct.
18,
Anybody
19.
that's out there needs to subscribe because if you hadn't, you're a moron. You need to subscribe. Okay.
You definitely do. Yeah, because I'm actually subscribed on 3 of my YouTube channels. So
well, I sure as hell hope you've subscribed. I mean,
I actually subscribed on 3 of my YouTube channels. You could actually
good for you. I mean, that is a good career move on your part.
You know what? I am trying to because I'm trying to get. Some people want to kick me off Sportswire, but if you could see, I've actually subscribed anyway on 3.
I mean, let's think about it, Tom. I mean, you don't want PBS to come make a visit to New York City, do you?
Well, I mean, you guys can visit. I would give you keys to the city.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's not the kind of visit I think you get if you don't subscribe. I mean, I think I might have.
I would visit. I would have you guys visit. I mean, I would be more than welcome in New York. But I've subscribed, so I don't have that problem. Zilla wants to tell you though, but Zilla wants to tell you that she loves your shoes and she loves the red shirt.
See, all of them love me, man.
Yes,
everybody loves me, man. I mean, I got a custom-made shirt.
Maybe they should, instead of calling you the Wilson, maybe they should call you LL Wilster. Ladies love Wilster, maybe?
Oh, we already know, man. I mean, This right
You
here.
need love, obviously, right? You
This
need
is
love.
for all the look. This is for all,
You'll be doing it and doing it and doing it well, right?
I represent. Hey, I represent Atlanta. All right, even though I'm up here in Biswak, North Dakota. But
Bismarck.
all I'm telling you, this is for all the men who wish they could be me, and
Yeah.
all the women who come and see me.
I see. Well, I appreciate you letting us know that. How
Yes.
tall is Showtime? 6'4"?
Showtime is around 6. He's a big man, and if
Now you got
Showtime
cut
happens
off.
to get on,
Repeat that for the audience. How tall is he for the audience?
Showtime is around 6'3" to 6'4".
I said what I thought you said. That's what I thought.
He's a big dude, and I want to say he's around 250, 260, maybe even 270 pounds. And this is lean too, man.
Yes, he's not one of those guys that has his pants falling down in BYW. There's too many guys, big guys, that have their pants falling down. And I'm like, get a belt, bro.
And I love, and he doesn't. And the thing about Showtime is he doesn't speak much, but when he does, it's very, very profound.
He's 6'4". He doesn't need to speak.
Right. I mean, but when he does, it's very profound. Like he'll say, "You might as well just give me the title belt." You know what I mean? You might as well just.
Like I said, he's 6'4", 250. There's nothing.
I mean, the guy has been my most loyal and respected teammate for the last 2 years plus, 2 years, 2.5 years. I wish him nothing.
Well, speaking of teammates you have, I mean, why do you still have Scary Terry?
It's a tax break, dude. It's a tax break. That's why I still have that bum. All right. That's why I still have tax break. Remember, it's all about what's best for business, right? Well,
he doesn't do anything for you guys, though, literally in the ring.
Well, he's doing something for me. He's making it to where I get more back.
But you're a results-driven guy, right? You're obviously about results.
But the results are this. I'm gonna tell you. Hold on.
The results suck. His results suck here.
All right. You see that wallet right there? Okay. This wallet, which by the way, notice the beautiful Georgia G on the wallet. It's not a Green Bay Packer logo, you stupid morons. This wallet is my results right here. Okay. All right. I'm here to freaking cash checks, get W's, and keep.
No, I won't do it because I have done it on prior shows. I have brought out my green stack of cash, and let's just say it was a very large number, but I'm going to certainly defer to you on that.
Are you sure that wasn't Monopoly money, Tom? Come on now.
No, mine was real. No, mine was real.
Good. I'm just making sure.
It was real. No, trust me. It was real. I mean,
right. You have a reputation to uphold, Tom. Okay?
Yes. We did the background check, but not about me. But Scary Terry, though, we keep him because he's a tax break. Just want to make sure.
That's basically it. The idiot's a tax break. All right. So in fact, I think we let him in because Nate was very sympathetic to his,
Well, this is all Chris Arruda's really fault because Chris Arruda.
Well, Chris Arruda does it again. Here we go. Look, I respect Arruda.
I like him. He's been here multiple times. I like Arruda. I agree.
The thing is, Arruda has just like that moron Anthony Aries. I'll bring him up too. Both of those guys right there, okay, have done some really stupid shit. All right, if you go look at one of my promos about a year and a half ago, they're just handing out contracts.
Arias with the LBY, he was involved in LBYW. He was the GM.
Anthony was the GM. He was one of CJ's little hand-picked schmuck GMs. Okay, and all the guy did was, this is your GM of LBYW.
Well, he's back on Sportzwire Radio next Friday. I mean, so anything you want to say to Anthony Arias, who seems to have his own issues in his own company at the moment?
Of course he does. Of course he does. What he needs to do is he needs to stay in his own lane, okay, and deal with his own company's problems. If I'm correct, I think Anthony is in North Florida or South Georgia, if I'm correct.
Florida. He's near Tampa.
He's in Florida. And here's the thing, he's probably a Gator fan, which probably that's the whole problem right there.
I don't know what his sports affiliations are.
It's probably nothing good. So when CJ put Anthony Aries in there as the GM of LBYW, and Anthony Aries started to talk like this, thank you so much for your participation. Shut up. I mean, he's done. Now, Arruda, I'll give Arruda credit. The guy's got the best entrance theme in the whole freaking company. I mean, his entrance.
But he couldn't referee properly, though.
I mean, well, you know what?
I mean, compared to Refajito, I mean, that was obviously the.
Refajito is a freaking legend. I mean,
between Ahito and Scary Terry, who would be?
I mean, Refajito is clearly a legend. Even though Refajito sometimes passes out in the middle of a match, I still don't know what happened there. But
I'm not going to ask you. I'm not going to ask.
I can't answer that, But I can only speak from experience when during my match with the Alpha, or whatever the hell he's calling himself these days, we had 2 years ago. He was the perfect referee for that match. He was the only choice. It was the perfect referee, and he did a good job in that match, even though that son of a bitch speared me through a fence.
Yes, I remember that very well. Yes, I do remember it.
Speared me through a damn picket fence, and he busted the whole side of my face, the whole side of my neck open. I spilled blood for that old, I will say this, though. The one thing I will say about Arruda that's awesome, he has the best Colombo shirt. He wears this Colombo Hawaiian shirt, and it's effing fantastic.
Well, why Chris. Obviously, Chris Arruda has meant a lot to us, and we'll certainly see his.
Yes, he has. I'll give him credit. I mean, even though he's a 49er fan. I mean, by the way, I'll give you a little bit of secret about Arruda. We'll move on to something else. Do you realize that when we do our fantasy football draft, he only wants to draft 49ers for his whole team?
I'm not surprised.
Not surprised. I mean, the guy clearly doesn't know how to play fantasy football.
Although I probably made a big mistake for him this year because he drafted Christian McCaffrey, who hasn't done anything.
Well, I did. I couldn't get into our draft. I ended up getting McCaffrey first. But here's the thing: I'm facing some dude named Napalm this week, and I'm going to end up kicking his ass. And guess what place I'll be in that league?
First.
Number one. Just like I always am.
No surprise there. We are here with the Wilster. He is the LBYW United States champion. He is the leader of PBS. He is the face of America. He is here for about 15 or so minutes. We are getting you ready for legendary Backyard Wrestling's Haunted Hellfest, which will take place at the end of the month. Also, next month on Sportswire Radio, date to be announced by LBYW management. The entire LBYW roster will be here on Sportswire Radio to be inducted as a whole into the entire Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame wing as a company. So we're very excited about that.
That should be wonderful.
I'm looking forward to giving you guys a big speech. Also, next Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, my 1,000 subscriber show, which the Wilster is welcome. Anybody's welcome here to join and roast.
You might just pop on next Sunday night.
Anybody's welcome to come in, chat, roast me, say something. Who knows what?
I think I'm going to go give the Reverend I'm going to give you the Wilster rub, brother. On Sunday.
I really need rubs at this point, because obviously I don't have any. I'm not compared to you. I mean, you're the face of America. I mean,
that's right. So I am so glad that you. What I'm going to do is, since you are one of my constituents,
yes.
Okay, I am going to give you the rub. I'm going to give you the proper rub. And now, what I think I'm going to do is, I might just a custom promo just for the Honorable Reverend.
Well, you should do that next. You should do that next Sunday. You should do that next. Anybody? You should do that.
Be till about 8:45.
That's okay. I'm going to be here a while next Sunday. That's everybody.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show up at about 8:45 because everybody knows fashionably late is always awesome.
Well, you're going to probably laugh because the last 2 weeks, it was last Thursday and last night, two of my former employers who fired me before showed up on Sportswire.
What a bunch of assholes.
It was okay, actually. Actually, my guest yesterday, Big Man Cam, said, well, why didn't you fire him sooner so we could have Sportswire earlier? That was kind of clever. But I'm a good sport, though. I allow my former employers to come in the chat and say hello, and even though they fired me before, I'm a good sport. A lot of people would say, boy.
I don't know, man. If I were you, I think I'd get them inside hell in a cell and handle. You know what I mean? And just
nah. I'm a reverend. I have to be gentlemanly.
Not on Saturday. Maybe on Sunday, but maybe on Monday through Saturday you don't, man. I mean, it's all about it's about running the gimmick, brother, and making the counts.
I try. You're the face of America. You're the leader of PBS. You're killing it in the wrestling world. I'm just, I'm a nobody, so we don't even want to.
Look, nobody said you're a nobody. I mean, everybody's somebody.
I was joking. But Zilla, by the way, did love the hat, by the way. Zilla loves the hat.
See?
Zilla's actually from Georgia, by the way. She's from Georgia.
Oh, is she?
From Georgia, yep.
Well, Zilla, maybe you need to give the Wilster a call.
Well, she was on Instagram, on Jack Delta's Instagram. And also, Ashley says, I'm a lady. I tell bad ex-employers to eat it. Actually, they are. Wow. Actually, in all seriousness, they're not bad employers. One of them was when I worked in the New York State Senate. The other one was when we won an election for the city council. So actually, they're not bad employers. Actually,
they're a politician, man.
They're politicians that actually, gave me an opportunity and actually I put them in office. So actually, no, it's a joke. They're not bad employers. Trust me.
Basically, what you're saying is you screwed yourself. I put
I
them in.
when they won, they got screwed over because they kept employing me. That was why they lost.
I see. Okay, so
They're not bad employers at all. Speaking of people, what's up to the wire of sports? Big Man Cam, who was here yesterday, he is the LBYW champion, and obviously, let's give a big plug. We have people in the chat. We have some new people here. You're drawing some new customers. Here's the LBYW YouTube page. Go out and support our friends in LBYW, and that's their YouTube page. It's ND_backyard_wrestling. Big Man Cam was out earlier in the great state of Marion, Ohio, because All Legendary Wrestling had a show called Apocalypse. You guys have Haunted Hell coming up. They just had Apocalypse, so the irony's there in that. But
very painful irony.
Scary Terry is the guy that looks like Bigfoot. He looks like one of the members of Bigfoot.
Okay, so all right, so Zilla, honey, here's the thing. Scary Terry is what I'd like to call a freaking bum. But like I said, we should have changed his name to TB, man. Tax break. That's what we should have changed his name to. Just the WTB, Wilster's tax break. You know,
I need more tax breaks. My tax bill is very expensive.
You know, and the thing is, I thought that nobody could have a worse match than the Masked Man did. I mean, the Masked Man was absolutely the drizzle.
Why can't you give Scary Terry, though, insights to be a better performer?
We've tried, dude. We have tried. I mean, but let's think about the freaking entrance theme that this goof comes out to. Fee, fi, fo, fum, man. Get the hell out of here with that crap. I mean, that has got to be.
Dude, he looks like Bigfoot. I mean, seriously.
So I don't even know. He does, and you know what? I had such promise for this dude because my thought was this: him and Showtime can be like the towers.
When Freak came here 5 months ago, when Aruda was like, "You got to bring this guy on," and I looked at him on paper, I thought, okay, this guy's going to be the next big thing, and he didn't turn out to be anything.
I was hoping. My hope was this. My plan was, and I told him from the beginning. I said, "You need to listen to the people that are in this group that have been doing this." My plan for him was him and Showtime were going to be like the Towers of Terror. They were going to be like the tag team champions. That was our original plan for these guys. And if Terry would have panned out, can you picture anybody on the roster or anybody in Backyard Wrestling going against him and Showtime for the tag team titles? The answer is no.
No, sir.
So that was my general plan for Terry and Showtime. But everybody knows Terry turned out to be the friggin' drizzling shits, man. So what can you do? I mean, you know, you can lead a horse to water, you know, but you can't make him drink. I mean, it is what it is. Now, I never intended this to be a bury the whole Scary Terry thing, bury him, but I've kind of got my Triple H shovel.
I have to ask you, though, because he's a member of your group. I like him, but I just wanted to know why you feel he hasn't been as successful as the other members. No, there's no shade with Scary Terry. He just hasn't had the success.
That's all there is to it. He's
being thrown into a metal pole. And let me get to a few more comments. Yes, Zilla's going to be into the Hall of Fame next Saturday night. And nice. I got it, Ashley, but I was trying to actually say, in all seriousness, the employers that employed me when they came on the stream the last Thursday and yesterday, they weren't bad employers. That's all I was trying to say. I was at the audience, so they really weren't bad employers. They actually.
By the way, I would like to say, in the Wilster recognizes, gives credit where credit's due. Congratulations to Zilla for being for going in the Sportzwire Radio Hall.
And you're going in next month too. You're going in next month.
Yes. I am where I always have, always should be, and that's in the Hall of Fame.
I want the whole roster to join you. That's why I want to make it special.
Sure. And again, I want to point out one other thing. I'd also like to highlight one other thing that we did this year.
Yes, please.
Is really near and dear to my heart. It was our Supernova Memorial Show.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And I will say this. Okay. It was an honor for me to be highlighted in the whole show. It was like Wilster centric.
Yep.
I was selected to be, and that was my open challenge. I mean,
yes. Yep.
Okay. And I was the one that was picked to be like the centerpiece of our contribution to the Supernova show. And it hurts my heart to see young people like that. That's life is literally cut short.
I know, very just, absolutely horrible.
That's why, I mean, that's why I spoke first. Yeah, I was speaking as myself, but I'm humbled, which I rarely get humbled. I was rarely, and I was humbled to be the person that could be in the match.
Especially with Nova young. Yeah, he was so young, and just a
Yes,
horrible thing with what happened to Nova, and just unfortunately that's kind of what happens here in our circuit. And I was
I'm
referring to.
also very, and I will also say this. I would like to also thank Kurt Adams for contributing to LBYW Wrestling because I know he's got his
Oh,
own thing down there in South
absolutely,
Dakota.
yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
and one of the other things I'll say before this night's over with, I did bring it up earlier in the show. I will give, I'm just going to say it now. I will give the Alpha or CJ credit for create a entity like he's created. Because let's also point out one other thing.
Sure.
This man's a husband. He's a man's a husband and a father.
Yep.
He has a full-time job that he works very hard at.
He
So
does.
I don't usually put him over, because I'm the one that gets put over. I'm the one that wants to go over. But I will put CJ over right now tonight for the entity that he's created. On a serious note, and on a serious note, I will even say this: I'm very proud of him for what he's created. Because if I had the technology that he has when I was his age, Tom, I'd probably be about $40,000 in debt right now, man. Because I would be chasing my dream of what I enjoy.
Sure.
So I'm ready. I don't need any other training. The time for talk is over. At the end of the month, all hell's eve, I will step into the ring against White Viper, and I'm going to beat his ass. Now, as far as the future of legendary backyard wrestling goes,
yes.
none of us, like Napalm elaborated earlier, nobody knows the future, but I will say this. We aren't done. We just aren't doing it on a
weekly to bi-weekly, monthly basis.
Okay. But we will. I am very confident that we'll have a Haunted Hellfest 5 next year. I'm pretty sure we'll do that. I hope we do a Summer Madness. I'm hoping we're Together War again. I enjoyed that because that was like the closest to a Survivor Series matchup that you could get. And to be honest with you, Survivor Series is probably my third favorite event of the year behind WrestleMania. So, I mean, I enjoyed that. So I'm hoping we at least have 3 big shows next year, or maybe 4, that we can all get together. Because at the end of the day, we're not only a roster, but we're also a family.
Absolutely. I can see that.
We've spent a lot of time in the locker room. We've bled. I personally bled. And we do this. We enjoy it. Okay. I enjoy doing what I'm doing, but I will also not a suck up session, or I'm not, this is me speaking seriously. I know how much this means to CJ. That I know how much it means to him, and we all do, and we enjoy it. And we all enjoy coming together. We have done it in all kinds of weather. We've done it in the rain.
I've seen you guys do it in the snow. I've seen you guys do it in the darkness. I've seen you guys do it in the playground, in the heat. And yeah, you guys have done it these past almost 4 years.
The good news here about Hellfest, I'm hearing that where we are having this at, it's a very big area, as you saw on the video.
I'm going to put that up one more time before we sign off.
And I also believe that the lighting is going to be very good. I was told that the lighting is going to be very, very good this time around. Well seen. I mean, you are in the middle of it, like he's out there right now. Big, gigantic stage. When he was talking about doing it at this particular stage, and I saw the picture of it, I was like, man, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. There was a couple other places that were thrown around for this, but when this was brought up and I saw it, I'm like, dude, perfect spot. Absolutely perfect spot. I'm also hearing I think the weather's going to cooperate. The last couple of years, The 2 years ago, the weather was it was chilly. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, October is weird because sometimes you can get like really nice weather or you get cold weather. I mean, you don't know. You just don't know. New York today, in New York, for example, it was 70, almost 80 degrees. Tomorrow is 78 degrees. You just don't know.
Today was pretty well. It was about 64 degrees today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. 64 is very comfortable.
It's very comfortable. I mean, I'm hearing it's going to be very comfortable that night too for us to use. So, point being is this: the Wilster's attitude's quite refreshing.
Yes, from
Ashley. I don't know if you know me that well, honey.
She's probably hearing you for the first time because you haven't been here in 16 months. So there's people here like James Taylor, the legendary LBYW owner, Zilla.
I'm going to tell you something. I would like to put over Taft Taylor for a second.
You can. Okay. He's an Alabama man. You can.
Other than that.
He's from Texas, though, but go ahead.
Other than that, too. But anyway, I will put over Taft Taylor all day long. I mean, this dude.
We love James.
Oh, man. Dude's awesome. I mean, I absolutely enjoy every single one of his posts. They're all outstanding. So I never really, and I've been meaning to contact him and tell him that. But
I'll get you in touch with him. I'll tell you what.
I follow him on Instagram. So
I would still get it up to you anyway. But
because remember, I'm the face of America. I can contact every human being on this.
You know your constituents. That's true.
Correct. So he does a hell of a job. And I appreciate that, Ashley. The point being is I'm not a mark when it comes to the wrestling business. I mean, I'm not somebody that, I follow all I've been doing this, watching this for 40 years. All right. I've traveled. I've been to 19 WrestleManias, dude. 19. And every single one of them has their own little special feel. And I enjoy the wrestling business. By the way, if you haven't already, you need to listen to Busted Open Radio every morning on Sirius XM Radio. Your boy, Mr. New Yorker Dave LaGreca, does it.
I'm not a fan of Dave LaGreca. I have to be.
Well, you should be.
I'm not. He's from New Jersey, by the way. Not.
That explains it. But anyway, the shadows of New York City. All you got to do is tell him that.
They consider that, if you really want to be technical, he lives like in the swamps.
Basically. Well, actually, I think now he's moved like in upstate.
Well, because he's got a lot of money now. But where he's, that's what it is.
I mean, I don't have a problem with the guy. I mean, I met him at I had a chance to be in the legendary ECW arena. That was outstanding.
Yeah, now yes, I have a lot of affinity for the ECW.
Have you been to the ECW arena in Philadelphia?
I have not. No, I have not. I'm on Sportzwire every night.
Right. Well, I went to the Busted Open Radio party the Saturday of WrestleMania Night 1. I had a chance to meet Dave LaGreca. I had a chance to meet Mark Henry, Bully Ray.
Okay.
I had a chance to meet Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler. Yes. I had a chance to meet Thunder Rosa, which was really cool. I also had a chance to meet Denise Salcedo, which, by the way, Denise Salcedo, everybody needs to watch her and listen to all her stuff.
She does the interviews.
She does. She works for Instinct Culture.
Yes.
And she very short, but she's got a very good voice. Got a chance to meet Matt Camp. So
I know Matt Camp.
I meet a lot of stuff, dude. I meet a lot of people. I mean, so
and if you're here right now for the first time, go follow Mr. Wilster on
you probably should. Look at that guy. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's the real. That right now is the only woman I can trust is in the upper right-hand corner of that picture. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, I'm ready. I'm ready for the match. It's going to happen, and it's going to be nasty. People need to understand. You better put the kids to bed that night, brother, because the White Viper is going to go out on his shield that night. I am going to give him. I was going to say an honorable fate. But instead, I'm just sick of the guy, and I just want to end this dude once and for all and put him out of his misery. I'm not going to kill him, Napalm, but I'm going to sit here and put him out of his misery, and it's going to be it. It's going to be over.
Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I tell you what, I'm very excited about LBYW's Haunted Hellfest here.
I'm very excited. I've been excited ever since I decided to put my career on the line because I've already whipped his ass 3 times. I'm gonna throw up this sign. Woo! I'm gonna do it a 4th time.
Well, we're gonna find out, obviously, and the show will take place at the end of the month And I also want to repeat for the audience one more time that next month we'll have the entire LBYW roster, or as many members as possible, to be here to be inducted into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. I'd like you to follow Legendary Backyard Wrestling on YouTube, Instagram, ND_backyard_wrestling. You saw the Wilster's Instagram page. I would highly recommend you follow him. And please support our friends in LBYW. And also, one more time, as a reminder before we sign off, that it is LBYW Day on Sportswire Radio, and I'll give this to the proper authorities when we're off the air, and they'll have that, and we'll certainly have a great time with them to induct them in the Hall of Fame. And before we also leave, I want to also commend LBYW on everything that LBYW has done these past 4 years in the backyard wrestling circuit. And also, I know at the Backyard Wrestling Nexus, and I have my Nexus shirt on today, but I do want to commend the work. It was not easy. There's no question that LBYW has made a difference in our community, a positive one. LBYW has done a lot of things that I think has been really ahead of the game. The camera work's been great. We've seen a lot of work in the community. LBYW has been a huge part of the North Dakota community. Everybody on the roster has put in their blood, sweat, and tears to have made it this far and to have 1,600 subscribers almost, and now have Kurt Adams as a part of your company now coming down the stretch. I think it speaks volumes to everybody here that believed in this product and they believed in themselves, and they really are a company that we all should be proud of, and we're proud to have LBYW these past 2 years on Sportswire Radio, and I am very excited to have LBYW in our Hall of Fame, and it's long overdue. And I can't thank LBYW for their relationship with us here on Sportswire. And I really believe the best is yet to come. And I know that this is not the end. It's sort of it's kind of a slight detour, but I really believe that LBYW is always going to have a place, not only in the backyard wrestling circuit, but here on Sportswire Radio. For as long as I have a voice, which we're going to continue to hope I have a voice after every show I do, but there's no question that LBYW is always welcomed every time on Sportswire Radio. And I am very excited about Haunted Hellfest. And a lot of people have obviously helped Sportswire to where it is, but LBYW was there alongside a lot of people at the very beginning. And even though I've been doing this for 6 years, but doing the backyard wrestling circuit, LBYW was one of those first companies that came on here alongside WCE and IMF and some other companies. And I am forever grateful for their support. I am forever grateful for the locker room, for them being here for as often as they have. And there's an old adage that a rising tide will always lift all boats. And I have no doubt that that rising tide will always be lifted. And LBYW's boats are always going to be here on Sportswire Radio. So I want to congratulate the entire roster on a fantastic season. I want to congratulate the roster coming up here for a highly successful, I have no doubt, show coming up here with Haunted Hellfest. And I'm very excited to see many of the talent together here for the first time on Sportswire Radio sometime next month. And I want to congratulate everybody one more time. And I'll save some of my thoughts next Sunday when I have my own, roasting, I'm sure. But people say they don't want to roast me, but I'm sure we'll talk about that at a different time. But Mr. Wilster, I do want to congratulate you on a very successful season. I want to congratulate you on what you've been doing here with LBYW. It's been a long time overdue, but we've obviously rectified that. Thankfully, for the first time, you're back in 16 months. We're going to see you again next month. You're always welcomed anytime, and looking forward to seeing what you're going to do here undoubtedly with White Viper, and we'll see if the winning streak continues. But I know one thing, I'm very excited about Haunted Hellfest, and thank you for all that you've done for us, and I'm looking forward to seeing you back here next month. And yes, it'll definitely be too sweet, and go Georgia for you next week.
Go Dogs in Texas, and appreciate that, Tom. We thank you for having us on here every single time. We appreciate it. We appreciate any kind of decent press that we can do.
We want to do that.
Appreciate you guys, and thank you very much. And I guess we'll see you down the road.
We're going to see everybody next month, and I'm going to be watching coming up here at the end of the month. And again, one more time, it is Legendary Backyard Wrestling's Haunted Health Fest. But there'll be one more show come. There's another parking lot brawl to come up. There'll also be some other stuff that'll be. I'm going to put that link up actually one more time. It'll be ND_Backyard Wrestling. So if you are here one more time and you're viewing this, and other people are coming in and out throughout the evening, this is the YouTube channel. Please support our friends over at ND_Backyard_Wrestling. That's the YouTube channel. And we'll have more coverage of it throughout the week on Sportswire Radio. And also, anybody that's here in the LBYW roster is welcome to join us to celebrate or maybe poke fun at me coming up next Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's the Wilster, his side of the story. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. And I want to thank everybody for their support of Sportswire Radio. And also, I'll be back here tomorrow. Stay tuned on a time to be announced later on. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters. And I'll see everybody tomorrow. And please support LBYW and support everybody that's been on here throughout on Sportswire Radio today. I want to thank also all the guys at Shock's House. It was a lot of fun to see all those guys in New York, the other side of the state. And I'll be back here tomorrow. And thank you, Zilla, everybody in the chat. Appreciate you. And we'll see everybody tomorrow on Sportswire Radio.